Okay, what's going on, guys? This is Liam from Liam's Tinnitus, and right now I'm going to get into something that I've spoken about privately to a lot of people that I help with tinnitus, but now I'm going to kind of bring it to light on my YouTube channel because it's really effective for people who don't want to, can't want to, or don't know how to do a water or a dry fast or are a bit worried about that. There's something else you can do, okay? And it's called electronic fasting. And it basically is exactly what it sounds like, okay? So it's abstaining from electronics, but it's also abstaining from man-made light, okay? We call this NNEMF, which is non-native electromagnetic frequencies / fields. So the computer I'm on right now, the microphone I'm using right now, cell phones, iPods, iPads, desktops, LED lights, street lights, everything except sunlight is what we're trying to avoid at certain times, okay? So this video is going to be super quick, probably about 4 minutes, because the science is unbelievably complex behind this, but the explanation and the application is extremely simple. Remember one thing, we didn't make the earth, okay? The earth made us. So we have to adhere to nature's rules. We have to get up when it's light and we got to go to bed when it's dark. And anytime somebody who lives a life, shift work, staying up late and watching Stranger Things season 3, whatever it's going to be, you're breaking the rules, okay? And when you break the rules, Mother Nature's going to break you. And that sounds really cliche, but it's true, okay? And I can tell you that no matter how you got tinnitus, whether it's from physical injury or antibiotics or food or whatever it is, okay, if you look at the science of quantum mechanics, and I'm not trying to sound smart here, I don't understand quantum mechanics really at all, but I just have a basic understanding from basically, going back and looking at, okay, why is what I'm doing working? Why is it helping people? Let's look at the science. And I found quantum mechanics. So I'll just basically paraphrase my very small understanding. But everything is light, okay? Light, water, and magnetism. So we're magnetic, okay? We're electric. If you zoom in on our cells, there's empty space, which is electric, okay? So let's get into exactly what we can do to restore that electricity, because remember, our process of hearing, okay, uses probably this 5 senses. It uses the most power out of all the other senses, and also we can't turn our ears off, okay? We can choose not to move to save energy, but we always have to hear. So we have to make sure we take care of our ears, and no matter how you got your tinnitus, okay, if this isn't working, it's a very slim chance, but not impossible, that you will heal it without, adhering to basically nature, okay? So electric fasting fixes the melatonin and cortisol cycle. Okay, so let's go into what these hormones are. Melatonin is a hormone that enables humans to sleep, okay? I'm sure if you have trouble sleeping, you would take a melatonin supplement. There's good and bad aspects of that. I wouldn't really recommend it. If you need it to sleep right now because you just can't sleep, sure, but the goal is to wean off, okay? And cortisol is an adrenal hormone, okay? Let me just look how professional I am. Okay, it's an adrenal hormone that wakes us up. That's the point of it. It starts kicking in at about 3 to 4 a.m., okay, when it's the coldest. That's when it's the coldest. It's the hormone most closely associated with the fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. Yes, there's freeze as well, okay? It's not a recent discovery, but recently documented. That's basically all you need to know about that, okay? So this is, people think, oh, I'm so, how do I get out of fight or flight? Well, this video is probably the number one best place to start, because these you can, it's not as if like, am I doing it right? Am I meditating right? Am I feeling safe? No, just go to bed when it's dark. And I go to bed at 9 and wake up at about 5, 6. Okay, that's how you do it. That's the melatonin cortisol trick. That's the fight or flight. Good place to start. Okay, is this everything? Hell no. Is it most things? Yeah, it is. Okay, so melatonin. Let's get into it. Is not only responsible for sleep, this is what makes us tired, okay, but it's also responsible for kickstarting autophagy when we're asleep. Now, I speak about fasting, dry fasting, and the main benefit and the point of fasting is autophagy, okay? So that basically means dead cells are getting cleared out and new cells are being created, okay, through different procedures such as mitosis, etc., okay? So autophagy is not only something we can achieve while fasted, okay, but also every single night when we're asleep, and melatonin is responsible for this. So melatonin needs to be secreted before we go to sleep, okay? Not just when we're asleep. You can't just watch Netflix and then close the computer lid and go to sleep and expect to be in autophagy at 2 a.m. That's ridiculous, okay? It's not going to happen, okay? Cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone secreted from the adrenal glands, okay, in time of perceived fear. Now, I wrote perceived fear because your brain doesn't understand the difference between you imagining something and it actually happening. So this is basically how actors act, okay? So they have to be able to cry, show fear, show love, show anger, show remorse on demand. So humans can call on these emotions. And how we do that is, and actors do this too, they use memories, okay? So you can also create instances and recall instances. So if you're thinking about, a date you have coming up, or a job interview, or a funeral, or a wedding, you can have fear and you'll feel the fear, okay? You don't just think about the word fear, it's a physiological reaction, it's a hormonal reaction, okay? And a lot of the time it's cortisol, okay, which is fight or flight, but other hormones are associated with fear, okay? But stress is cortisol, okay? So, and I believe this hormone is secreted often, and you might be able to relate to this. People who try to listen to their tinnitus to see where it's at, okay? So people walk in different rooms, they go to a restaurant, can I hear it here? Is this restaurant better? That's one of the worst things you can do. Is it better now? Is it worse now? What about this room of the house? I'll walk around here. What if I sleep with this noise on? I get it, you're trying to reduce it, but when you think about it all day, every day, and when you hear it, it's hard to not think about it, but it's very bad, and you will secrete cortisol because you're thinking about it, okay? Remember, I teach a lot about diet and everything, but there's a mental part too. Basically, forgetting tinnitus, if it's possible, is a great step, okay? And here's the thing, many assume adrenal fatigue, which is the fight or flight mechanism, comes when cortisol is over-secreted. This is technically true, but fear, over-secretion, and tinnitus is not the root cause of adrenal fatigue, okay? It's actually light. Interesting, huh? So melatonin and cortisol are cyclical hormones, okay? Which means they rotate on and off, okay? As one goes up, the other goes down. Now, what else works like this? The parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight mechanism, okay? The adrenal glands host the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So when you're waking up, okay, the sympathetic nervous system will rise, as will cortisol, to wake you up. When you go to bed, you want when you're awake, you want the parasympathetic nervous system to be kicked in, okay? Unless you're killing something or exercising or something like that, okay? Now, these melatonin and cortisol are controlled mainly by light, okay? So when you go to bed, the sun sets, melatonin will rise and cortisol will go down, and vice versa in the morning, okay? But the thing is, you can personally hijack this, okay, and wreck this by when the sun goes down, by using LED fluorescent and blue light from electronics, okay? Now remember, not only will light travel into your suprachiasmatic nuclei, okay, in your eye, don't worry if you can't understand this, I'll simplify it. When light hits your eye, you change your circadian clock, which is very bad because then your body can't heal itself at night. But here's the thing, blue light can also go through photoreceptors in your skin, okay? And that will detach vitamin A from melanopsin. That's a whole fucking mess, okay? So just know, I could end this video right now, but I won't. And I could just say, don't use electronics and turn your Wi-Fi off when the sun goes down. And also, you need to be present outdoors for the sun during the morning AM and when it goes down, sunrise and sunset, because of the different radiation frequencies of the sun. Don't worry if this sounds like I'm just spurting shit at you to sound smart. Just worry about trying it out and getting it done, okay? Test it for yourself. Go fuck Liam, but I'll give it a go anyway. Who cares, right? Once again, with the introduction or absence of lighting hitting your skin or eyes, okay, your circadian clock is set. In the AM, okay, you want to sleep well at night, get up for the sunrise, okay? If you work shift work, find another job, okay? Don't take my advice on that. Don't blame me if you get fired. But, you're in a situation. You really are. Like if you start work at 5 p.m. and you go to bed at 4 a.m., you're fucked, okay? You are. So melatonin and cortisol are cyclical hormones, okay? Once again, thanks to artificial light, as I said, so this is blue light, computers, and EMF, which is Wi-Fi, but that's a whole other video altogether, okay? Thanks to artificial light, you can negatively hijack this natural process, okay? How do you ruin this? Okay, this is what makes it worse. TV right before bed, like watching TV in bed, then hitting the off switch and rolling over and going to bed. No, you ruined it, okay? Missing out on sunlight during the day on as much of your skin and eyes as possible, okay? Checking social media when you wake up at 2 a.m. and you can't sleep. Also, waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. and going back to bed is a bad idea, okay? Also, not sleeping in a 100% pitch black room. Wearing the eye mask is not enough, okay? Your skin has photoreceptors too. You should be able to block out the sun at 1 p.m. in the day in your room to a pretty good extent. If you can't, you got a problem, okay? EMS play a role, as I said. Okay, the lack of cortisol, we're nearly done here, guys. Melatonin and cortisol and tinnitus. Okay, the lack of cortisol, okay, combined with the presence of melatonin, melatonin's to sleep, cortisol's to wake up, forces you to become tired, fall asleep, and stay asleep. That's what we want, okay? Then autophagy comes in. While sleeping properly, autophagy will take place, clearing toxins and cleaning out dead cells. There's a bit on mitochondria here that I might mention, but that's the complex stuff. Just know that you should try this, okay? Don't worry, at the end of the video, I'll have actionable steps so you know what the hell to do. Okay, thus resulting in a good night's sleep and the clearing, okay? The clearing of toxins that inhibit proper brain function and brain inflammation. Also, this is going to clean out the cells in your intestines, liver, kidney, thyroid, pancreas, gallbladder if you still have it, and liver, which is very important for clearing the blood, clearing the toxins, and making sure your brain is getting oxygen, nutrients, and getting rid of heavy metals via the use of calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iodine, selenium. Okay, moving on. What should you do? Okay, sorry for the quick video. Just watch it again if you don't understand. Be outside for the sunrise, sunshine, and sunset. You need to tell your body when it should be asleep. Your body is smart. Remember, I'll say it again. The earth and the sun, okay, created us through water, light, and magnetism. That's how it does it, okay? So we're a victim of what the earth wants to do, okay? So if the sun, and we're not nocturnal, okay? We're supposed to be, whatever you call it, awake at daytime, right? So you need to tell your body when it's daytime. We spend so much time as humans inside during the day and outside during the night. Nightclubs, dinner. It's the worst thing we could possibly do. This is why doctors are like, oh, the tinnitus is idiopathic. We don't know much. Well, it's because they don't really get taught this stuff. Or if they do, you know, then they go and specialize in being an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And there's a great guy who I'll definitely reference here. His name is Jack Kruse, Kruse. And he did his rounds as an ENT, and he never learned about this stuff as an ENT. Here's the interesting thing. Our ears have light receptors in them, okay? They need to use light to function, for it to process properly. Melanin, okay? How interesting is that? Most people, if you Google melanin, you're going to see it's what makes your skin brown, okay? But why is that inside our ears, okay? So that's another video altogether, but excuse me, that's, you know, as I said, another video altogether. Okay, don't use Wi-Fi as the sun has gone down, okay? And as an extra bonus, no caffeinated drinks anytime, ever, no tea, no coffee, and no Wi-Fi on while sleeping, unplug it, okay? So that's electronically fasting, is basically, if I had it my way, it'd be a dry fast for 3 days with no electronics either, and being outside all day and going to bed as soon as the sun goes down. That is health. That is, and grounding as well. That's probably the healthiest you can ever be, but more data is needed on that. Okay, what else can you do? Okay, if you really want to get rid of this and you want to see me talk live and ask me questions, here's how you do it. Click below this video and go to liamstopstinnitus.com/tinnitus bootcamp. Okay, you're going to see me talk live. Go for a couple of hours. I go over all this and much more. I keep it simple. I give you actionable steps. And at the end, there's a Q&A. So if you're interested in that and you really want to get rid of tinnitus and speak with me, with other people, then click below. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and click below.